How's it going, everyone? This is MOS Tricks, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at rank number 1 Storm, rank 3 overall Rymazing. And we're going to be starting off here on Midtown on offense. And as Storm, you're going to be seeing some stuff. I'm just going to throw it out there. There's a reason why this is the number 1 most picked character in comp right now. So starting off here on offense, one of the main things you're going to notice right off rip is that our entire team actually went to the right here, up the ramp to try and take height rather than playing down in the main choke, because on defense, you have a right shoulder peek around this corner for such a long time. It's extremely difficult to get around this corner, so the offense here is going to opt to go up on height and try and win their fights to the best of their ability and stay out of this choke as much as they possibly can. And you'll notice too, we only have a couple players on cart. For the most part, we're trying to shove as far as we can and just win these fights before we get to the ambulance. Because once we get to the ambulance, a lot of good things can happen for us. We will have a right shoulder peek as we come around the corner here, trying to get as much alt charge as we possibly can as well too, just playing on the car, trying to stay safe. We see the dagger popping her ult on defense, so we have to respect that and back up. But Rymazing, of course he knows this, he's going to be trying to play this choke to the best of his ability. You see all those blue health bars on the other side, just building our ult charge, and as I say it, popping ult right here, and let's see if we can do some damage. We're going to have the Loki popping his pools. We are going to get the Loki and also get the Moon Knight as well too, so great use of the ult. They did have a good amount of utility on the enemy team to try and stop that. And speaking of which, not missing a shot, even through the dodges right there. Rymazing cleaning up 2 more extra picks right there, convincingly going to get this first point. And very quickly at this moment, I want you guys to take a look at the top right of your screen and see that we have an Adam Warlock on our team. The reason for that, of course, is to be able to res the rest of our team and keep everybody alive, and that's all good and well. But also, this character, as an off-meta strategist, has hit scan for his left click, which is going to help with fighting the enemy Storm. So here we are just trying to push through this main choke. Thankfully for us, we had everybody on cart so we can get through this first choke here on the second point, because it's extremely difficult to get through there, but we are able to get some breathing room as well. Speaking of breathing room, even more so, we have our Star-Lord. He was just in his ult, but unfortunately is going to go down. So we lose our Star-Lord in his ult, but we were able to clean up, for the most part, the entire team, pushing them back. It was an ugly fight, but I will say we were able to get as much as we possibly can, and he does have the res with the Adam Warlock as well too. So Adam Warlock, although not known to be the greatest healer, for a lot of players, they say he's not really, doesn't really have a space in the meta here. He's able to keep Star-Lord alive, keep him in the fight as well too, and also be able to heal instantly on our Storm and do damage to the enemy Storm. But unfortunately here we do have the Magneto and the Storm ult hitting at the exact same time. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get saved from the dagger ult, either a little bit too high or just a little bit too late, or possibly even just too much damage. So unfortunately we are going to fall, but the Adam Warlock bringing everybody back. And this is a scary spot, as I say it. We have a enemy Star-Lord ulting in our face, but as you see, Adam Warlock able to get a pick on that and keep us alive, and we get some good value out of this particular ult right here. It's going to be playing up on height. You see the enemy dagger's ult is down. It's about to go away in a few seconds here, but we're going to be trying to force another one right there. That's going to be Loki using the dagger ult on the defense, not getting a bunch of value out of our particular ult right there. However, we did force another defensive ult, so although we didn't get kills, it's a net positive to force out an ult that is so strong that just sustains the defense. So we're going to have an opportunity here. Just destruction with that right click. Sorry to cut myself off there, but that Storm's right click is insane. I don't know if you guys saw what just happened to that Moon Knight, but he just got sent to the Shadow Realm immediately. And now we have a chance to push up right here, and it looks like, once again, very convincingly, with no defensive ults on the enemy team, we're able to get up to this next point. As I say that, though, gotta be careful. It's gonna get the Psylocke. Probably shouldn't have pushed up on the Psylocke there, or she should not have pushed up on us, I should say. And we are going to get that point right there and to try and clear out as much as we possibly can. Still continuing to push forward, miles ahead of the cart right now, just shoving the enemy team, saying, go back to the spawn. What are you doing? Storm in shambles, getting bubbled barely and saved by Magneto. We have right shoulder peek here. That's one of the big things about this last section of the map. Not a lot of players really explore it because you're just trying to win, but there is a lot of places to hide. There's a lot of high ground on this map. There's a ton of cover for characters that fly, like Iron Man and like Storm. So actually able to get the kill out of that ult right there. Rymazing getting the snipe, just cleaning up the kill on the ulting Storm on the enemy team. Once again, finding that ult charge. We have our ultimate right now as well too. Trying to take down the clones so they don't have the ability to use their pool. to try and stop us here. Let's see what happens. Just playing cover on height. Here goes the ult right here. We're going to be pushing all the way back, probably going for the Punisher here, not having much utility, forcing everything right there. You saw the pools go down, you saw the ults go down, and we actually still got a kill on the Magneto, which is crazy. Even through all that utility, able to pick up something, some sort of value for our ult. Playing that right shoulder peek again, still. Just trying our best to clean up the Magneto. He's in shambles, but getting saved. I think it was by the Loki ult, using the Loki dagger ult, I should say. Still got that right shoulder peek. Trying to get that ult charge, just staying safe. And guys, I don't care if you are a mid-level player, brand new, or even experienced. The reason why I keep on picking on or talking about the right shoulder peek and why it's so important is because in order for the enemy to actually shoot back at you, they have to expose their entire body. Whereas for you, you can throw out just one shoulder, a sliver of your hurt box, and do so much damage just like this as well. Here comes the ult right here. We got one player on cart. Couple players back right here. Punisher going to be in shambles. Let's see if we can get him. We can get him and the Loki and also get the cleanup as well on the dagger with the Atom. Everyone's just falling. And just like that, that is going to be a full 3 points on the offense. So now let's flip over and see what we can do on defense. So here we are now on defense, trying to play that height. Once again, kind of how we played on offense, we played the height. So here we're going to try and defend it to the best of our ability. You can see through the X-ray though, a lot of the players on the enemy team actually opting to stay down low, not really pushing up too high. We see the Magneto going off to the left there just for a brief second, but now getting forced back down. I'm calling this out based on the X-ray. That's what we're seeing as far as the players and where they are going. They're trying to go back to the cart right here and play a bit more of a ball comp, but you see how Rymazing is playing around this corner, just right shoulder peek. It's so devastating. I don't care what you say. If you're playing as Punisher, if you're playing as Star-Lord, if you're playing as Hawkeye, if you're playing as Storm, having a right shoulder peek for this long on the first point is so frustrating for the offense. So hard for them to get around. We see somebody trying to come up to the left there, have their enemy Storm playing a bit of a head glitch on the height as well too. But we have this shoulder peek just getting our ult charge to the best of our ability. We got our players up on height on the bridge, and you're gonna see right here why nobody wants to play down in this choke, because it feels like it's going okay until you lose one player just like that. Rymazing taking out the Punisher, who does get rezzed by the rocket. Gonna be trying to make their way back in, but as you can see right here, we're shoving everybody back. As soon as they lose one player, they all have to respect it and back up. The Loki pools are going to be going down right now as well too. We have full cart control, and we still have this right shoulder peek and height and our ult. We've got Magneto up here on height, just trying to the best of his ability to try and make some sort of distraction or get some space for us. But we're going to be popping our ult right here, making sure everybody goes right back to the spawn. And as I will say, that is a horrific ult right there from the dagger. Not because the dagger is bad, but because their hand was forced. They were forced into making a decision that they did not want to make. And I'll tell you why it's a bad decision. The reason why it's so bad is because now they can't use Dagger's ult on the cart to try and get some progress. They had to use it. They were forced to use it there to keep their team alive. And now instead of having a Loki ult, which they're using right now, Loki's Dagger ult, they don't have Loki and the original Dagger's ult to try and get some progress. Instead, they have only a counter ult to our Dagger. Right here, going to be going back into the room. Kind of a scary spot to be in. We're at 22 health, I will say as well too. Extremely scary. Not going to be able to escape though. Going to go down right there, unfortunately. But here we have the Adam Warlock ult going off. Going to be rezzing 3 players, I think, right here amongst the chaos. But it's always a scary situation whenever you have an Adam Warlock ult go off, because the entire enemy team knows exactly where you are, and you're all weak. You're all weak when you come back. So able to survive that, get our health back, and also get a pretty solid push right there too. We saw our Star-Lord use his ult as well too. We're getting a crazy cleanup here over in the, I don't even know where we are, just like a side building here underneath, chasing Magneto for his life and going to get the full shove, basically a full reset here, pushing everybody back. And guys, once again, the main difference maker here, whether or not you believe it or not, guys, I sound like a broken record. I know, I will say it again though, it's this right shoulder peek. The enemy team decided not to go up and over and try and get height, and because of that, we've been able to just shoulder this and build ult charge and pepper everybody as they're coming around the corner. We're just playing this so beautifully. Hold on, as I say it, we'll get around behind here. We'll be popping our ult behind. We're probably going to be trying, as I say it, we got ults on the defense going like crazy. And honestly, this is actually not a bad decision. This is not too bad of a decision here. And the reason why it's not a bad decision is because they saw all these ults popping and they realized, Rymazing realized, if I use my ult in the backline here, I'm probably actually going to die, because there's so many counters already down that I can't attack through. So instead of dying for no reason, unfortunately the ult was already popped. I'm just going to go back to my team and stay alive. which ultimately is a good play. Unfortunately, not going to get the Magneto ult to kill the dagger right there. So we're going to be in a bit of a stalemate here. We hear the enemy storm popping their ult as well too. Actual chaos in the streets. Extremely low health. 10 health right here. Got to be super careful. There's a health pack underneath us. I don't know if Rymazing knows. He should know this. Let's see what happens. He's going to see if he can go for it. Obviously, he does know. He's a one above all player, guys. Of course he knows. I'm just trolling. But unfortunately, we have a Punisher right in front of us as well. We got to be super careful trying to get out here. Spending way too much time on the wrong side of town. This might be trouble, and it is going to be, unfortunately, shambles right there. The enemy storm, Rakta, able to get the down right there. We were in a tough spot, I will say. Very difficult to get out of that situation. There's not much that Rymazing really could have done. But here we are making our way back. Rymazing sitting on 31 kills, 27,000 damage already. And we still got 2 more points to go, at least. So let's see what happens here. Gonna get another ult down. Loki pool's going down. Almost getting the Punisher there, but he was going to get saved and unfortunately going to get sniped by the enemy Magneto, going down again. And right here, as we're making our way back, we see the Punisher taking out 2 players, so we're probably going to opt to reset here and give up this point. Another player going down as well too, so we're most definitely going to give this up. We're going to use the TP or teleport to go to the next point so we don't have to walk 10 miles. Guys, if you don't know how to do that, if the enemy gets a point while you are in the spawn room, if you hit G on your computer, I'm not sure what it is on a controller, but on your computer, hit G and you will teleport to the next spawn and you don't have to walk nearly as far. You get back to your team much quicker. And honestly, this might be one of the best tips in the entire video for you because this is a universal tip for anybody. But it allows you to get back to your team and make sure that you're not staggered because yes, we were alive first, but we could have also died first because we would have been spawning behind the team and it would have been a very, very long walk. So here we have our Star-Lord popping his ult, getting bubbled. We're going to be trying to bully the Magneto to the best of our ability, not getting the debuff on him, going to be bubbling himself. We are going to get the dagger though. And once again, we are shoved way, way up again. All the way back into point number 1. We hear the Punisher up on the left. I'm not sure if he has his turret going just yet. I think he's just his standard AR. And as you can see, we are still playing these chokes, playing very close to the ground. And this is one of the things I actually wanted to point out earlier. Notice how much Rymazing stays in his wind ability to try and escape and use his movement rather than trying to assist his entire team with the lightning mode. Also, that was a crazy shroud. I'm just going to point that out from our dagger. Using their ult and then shrouding themselves as cloak to not lose their carpet on the ground. But as I was saying, more often than not, Rymazing is staying in windstorm mode more so than lightning mode because his ability to stay alive and also contribute and not have to walk back is way more important than giving the extra 8% damage to his team. When there's the ability to stay in a huge ball comp like this, it's just absolute chaos. Then yes, you see the lightning mode come out and you see the scoreboard or the kill feed explode. All those kills coming out from our Star-Lord as well too. Basically a full reset here. Right here, left shoulder peek. Not something you want, but right here we kind of do have control of the game for the most part. Everybody jumping down out of the spawn, just getting the damage, getting the ult charge to the best of our ability. We've been playing this wall, just trying to go back. And here, once again, a pretty concentrated choke. For a second, we were in the lightning mode, but we're going to be backing out to the best of our ability in the wind mode, trying to escape this pressure, trying to not go down. Unfortunately, Magneto and Punisher on the enemy team. Basically everybody getting rolled, so it's going to be a reset on our team. But as I say, once again, very scary situation to be in right here. Extremely scary, and that's right there. That's why. That's right there. I'll tell you right now, I'm sure that the entire team is screaming at Adam Warlock saying you could have just played Luna. You could have just played Invisible Woman. They're better to look at anyways, but for some reason you had to have this gold-faced monkey on our team. For whatever reason, we all come back to life and we all die and give up the point right here. Unfortunate. But I will say, in all seriousness, the Adam Warlock has been putting in work, keeping everybody alive. And with the hit scan, it actually has been a lot of a difference maker for sure to try and take out the enemy storm. So we are going to be giving it that point, unfortunately. And now we are here into the final push on point number 3. Playing a weird off angle here. Let's see what happens. We have height, but unfortunately the Punisher immediately knowing where we are. Unfortunate right there. It could have been a call out from Magneto saying, hey, we have storm up above us. Also, I will say too, when we have our windstorm or our lightning storm on the ground, the enemy team can still see it. They can see it. It's not just for us to see for ourselves and so our team knows where to stand to get the buffs, but the enemy team can still see that. So possibly gave away their own position right there, and it's just very unfortunate going down. Let's see what happens here. We have an ult going down. Loki pool's already popped. Dagger already popping. Not much we can really do here. Only thing we can try and do is make it back to our own dagger, which is also popping there all right now too. That's the red carpet on the ground. Able to stay alive, get bubbled. We're gonna be backing up as well too. We have Moon Knight popping up. Very scary spot. Once again, very extremely scary. This might be death. Somehow we are living though. Got another dagger ult going out. Dagger ult is the most important ult in the entire game. I don't care what anybody says. If you're trying to climb in ranked and you do not have a dagger on your team, or you could have had dagger but you chose to not play them because you don't know how for some reason, you got to pick up this character because you see how frequently both teams having dagger plus Loki to grab the dagger ult to try and keep the entire team alive. Scary situation there versus the Punisher. Got to be careful, especially up that close. It's one of the very few times ever. Oh my. As I say it, one of the very few times ever where Punisher has a chance to use shotgun on Storm, so you gotta be careful. Well, was able to diff the Punisher and the Storm and get another pickup there on the dagger as well too. And just like that, that is in pretty convincing fashion going to be the game in a 3-2 finish. Rymazing on the Storm, #1 Storm in the world. And just like that, Rymazing is the MVP with 41 kills, only 7 deaths, and 41,000 damage. And guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content just like this, please be sure to subscribe to the channel as I'm uploading videos on pro players daily. And once again, this is MOS Trick saying thanks for watching the video and have a great rest of your day.